Hey there, friends. It's evening time. Maybe you're watching the replay, maybe you're going to join me live, but it's about 8:30 at night. I've just finished putting my kids to bed. My husband's already asleep because he gets up at 4 a.m. My body is starting to say, hey, it's time to go to sleep. And I want to know, do you need more sleep in your life, right? Give me some thumbs up, maybe some hearts, and let me know, do you need more sleep in your life? Maybe you have a really hard time falling asleep. Maybe you fall asleep pretty easily, but you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, I can't get back to sleep. Maybe you don't have either of those issues, but you don't sleep long enough, So we're going to talk about sleep tonight. And I'm going to concentrate on 2 oils, maybe 3 oils, maybe I'll mention 5. Okay, so one of the things I want to mention to you guys is that there is not one essential oil that's going to fix all of your sleeping issues. Scientific studies have shown that it's not any one particular issue that has to do with sleep. There's a lot of things going on that affect our sleep. Believe it or not, a lot of the things that go on throughout our day affect our sleep. How much sunlight we're getting, how much phone exposure or tablet blue light exposure that we're getting before bed, what time that is, how long that lasts, staying up and binging Netflix, like who's been there and done that till 1 o'clock in the morning, right? So essential oils are going to be beneficial to you, but it's not going to be your cure-all fix oil. So I want you to think of essential oils as something that's going to be supportive, to encourage your body to do something, but it's not going to be the same way as a medication. If you guys haven't seen yet in my testimony, I was a pharmacy technician for 12 years. I know just a little bit about medications, maybe a little bit more than the average person. And our medications tend to force our body into certain rhythms and things that we want to happen, whereas essential oils are going to be more of the natural approach where it's going to encourage our body to do something, but it's not going to make it happen. So I'm going to give you just a couple of different tips and tricks to use essential oils to aid you, but I'm really going to encourage you to look at yourself as a whole person and see just the different things that you've got going on. So whether that's decreasing or completely eliminating looking at your phone, tablets, any kind of screen time, TVs, that kind of things, at least 30 minutes before you want to fall asleep, if not an hour, that would be really great. Finding a bedtime routine. This is something a lot of the times, like as a mom, I've got a 9-year-old and 2 7-year-olds. Actually, he's just turned 10. So my oldest is 10 and my twins are 7, almost 8. And this is something we usually think of as like for children, where we're like, okay, we need a bedtime routine, and we kind of like, do the steps, and it tells our body, hey, we're getting ready for bed and this is the time that I want you to go to sleep. But turns out that's something that's really beneficial for all of us, regardless of what our age is that having a bedtime routine that usually starts about 30 to 60 minutes before we actually want to fall asleep is going to be really beneficial. It's cueing our bodies into this is what we want to happen. If we're starting a new routine, this is something that can take 3 days, 7 days, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even longer, just depending on how long you're in your current routine. If you've been binge watching Netflix, like some of us have done, till 1 o'clock in the morning for maybe 3 or 4 months or 6 months, or maybe the entire pandemic, right? It's been like a whole year. It might take a little bit longer for you to reset that routine. Now, if you need some accountability help, I would love to do that with you. I coach accountability in another mindset group that I'm in. It's something that I really, really enjoy doing, helping people establish new habits. That's something that I'm more than welcome to help you with. So if you want to put some comments below or send me a private message and say like, hey, I need some help with that. Establishing some new routines. I would encourage you not to change everything all at once, but just look at the routine that you have, and you may think like, I don't have a routine, but actually whatever you do about an hour before you go to bed or fall asleep, I should say, is actually your routine, whether you've intentionally set that up or not. So here's some essential oils and some doTERRA products that are going to be really beneficial. I'm going to pretend to hold the bottle of Serenity Capsules. Mine's coming in the mail. I'm out. and it should be here in a couple of days. But I'm going to pretend to hold a bottle of Serenity Capsules. Now, you guys, if anybody has put in their samples that they want some more information on sleep, we've sent you a sample of the Serenity oil. So our Serenity capsules are not the oil in capsule form. What we actually have in the capsules is some lavender oil and some other oils in there. But what we have is some L-theanine, which actually is scientifically proven to help with sleep and to just have really nice longevity and restful sleep throughout the nighttime. It kind of helps you get a little bit more of that deep sleep in, which is where our body recovers from things, and helps in long-term memory and just different things like that. You'll notice that in the last probably about 2 years, they've been adding L-theanine to your melatonin supplements, your sleeping aid supplements that you see outside your pharmacy. doTERRA's been adding that in. It's a very natural, holistic supplement. It's very, very good for the body. It's not something that's going to be addictive. So it's a really nice supplement. So don't go taking your Serenity capsules and sticking that in a veggie cap and taking that. That's not going to be good for you. It's not going to harm you, but it's not going to work the same. So your Serenity capsules are going to be really helpful in a nice reset. So that's going to be something taking about 30 minutes before you actually want to fall asleep, adding that into your nighttime routine. I usually have to do it about 3 or 4 days. There's been times where I've had to do it for 7 to 14 days just because I'm so offset, and it really benefits me. And just once I fall asleep, it gets me a nice long sleep. It really helps me get into that deeper sleep, get some REM sleep in there. And it really just helps me feeling a little bit more energized in the morning. You can tell that I've gotten really good sleep when I've added the Serenity capsules in there. So Serenity oil is also going to be really helpful, and we've sent you this in your samples if you ask for some more information on sleep. So Serenity, I like to call it lavender on steroids, right? So it's a blend. So we've got lavender, some vetiver, some cedarwood in there, some vanilla. It's a really nice combination of things. This is going to be really fantastic to add to your diffuser. Maybe if you're taking a nice warm or hot bath before bed to help you to calm down, you can put a couple of drops in your bath. Maybe you like taking warm showers before bed. You can put a couple of drops, not right under the shower water, but just a little bit behind that, so you kind of get that nice vapor going on. Bottoms of your feet, your behind your ears, your pulse points right here on your wrist, a couple of drops in your pillow. A lot of places you can put right over your heart. A lot of places you can add some Serenity oil. And smelling this oil, we know once we get it into our nose and we're getting it into our brain, we're telling our brain it's time to calm down. Again, we're adding this into the routine, right? We're doing all of the things together, drinking some water, maybe washing our face, and doing some nice, good things. And the more we do that consistently, days and days in a row, is when our body's going to go like, oh, I get it. She wants to calm down. They're ready to go to bed. It's all these really beneficial things, right? So Serenity oil is going to be really great. But maybe you have some lavender oil. Like, I don't want to disregard lavender and any floral oil you have. There's a multitude of floral oils that are going to be really helpful as well. So if you have some lavender, do the same things. Baths, bottoms of the feet, pulse points, putting a drop in your pillow, maybe adding a little bit to some water, combining it with some vetiver, maybe some cedarwood, sandalwood, something like that, and spritzing your pillow, putting it in your diffuser. All of those things are going to be really helpful for you. One of the things that I know, Nicole is a really fantastic. So you guys are in this group, you know that Nicole and I are tag teaming. We're business partners. We really like educating people. And we both have hostesses in here. We know the benefit of having multiple hostesses is that we're all learning from each other, right? Nicole is really fantastic at in the mindset. So when you start doing something new, she's really good at reminding you of changing your thoughts that go along with that. So when you smell Serenity or when you apply the lavender on there, don't say, I'm going to get better sleep, or I'm not going to sleep good tonight. use the positive affirmations that go along with that. That says, you smell that oil in and you're telling your brain at the same time, whether it's an inside thought or even if you're whispering it or saying it out loud. Maybe you're doing some affirmations or declarations in the mirror and looking yourself in the eye and just saying like, I'm going to get really great sleep tonight. I look forward to really restful sleep. And just those positive affirmations that go along with that, you would be absolutely amazed at how just some positive statements paired with the smell that's going to affect our brains and the emotion that your body is going to have with that. It's some amazing jamming time. Look, Nicole is joining me right now. So I just want to, highlight that as, maybe you need some help with some affirmations. Put some comments below and say like, hey, what's some good things that we can do? I know Nicole's got a bunch of ideas on these things, but every single time you're smelling your oils, make it just a mental note to say, what is it that I want to invoke and encourage? Even though these oils are doing these things anyway, if we add smell, taste, scent, words, if we hear, so we're using our hearing, and all of the senses together is really going to magnify. Every sense that you can add to applying your essential oils are going to magnify the effect that it has on you. So, and we can see that with children learning. We know that, especially we see this a lot with preschoolers, pre-K4, kindergartners, first graders. We see a lot of the more senses you add to them learning something, the more concrete it becomes in their brain, the quicker they're going to learn and it's going to come cemented into their brain. The same thing happens for us. So I would encourage you to add some positive thoughts and affirmations into you utilizing these oils as we go along. So the other couple of tricks, where's my wild orange? So we've been telling you guys that citrus oils are uplifting and energizing, right? So, but this is a little trick. Before you go to bed, sometimes maybe you're like me, I'm exhausted and I'm ready to lay down, and I lay down and I'm so tired, and then my brain thinks of one thought and then it thinks of another thought. And then next thing you know, like Nicole has said, you're trying to solve all the world's problems because you're laying down, and now you're thinking and you're thinking, you're like, I can't go to sleep because I've got all these thoughts going on and I'm sending myself emails in the middle of the night and all this stuff, right? So wild orange is going to be a really good benefit. So this is not something we want to diffuse, but if this is the bottom of my foot and this is my big toe, which really would be like way up here, right? The bottom of your big toe is connected to your brain. It's your reflex point for your brain. If you put just a little bit of essential oil in the bottom of both of your big toes, your wild orange, it's going to help your mind to focus. So instead of having 10 million different thoughts, it's going to have one thought. Then we can add some serenity or some lavender to the bottom of our entire foot, and helps our body, our full body, to calm down, right? So we've got a little bit more focus on what we're trying to do. We're adding some positive affirmations into that, and then we're calming our entire body down by applying some essential oils to the whole bottom of the foot. Again, our pulse points, maybe over our heart, neck here, and our diffuser, and we're telling our body, hey, we want you to focus on one thing, and that one thing is calming down. So that can be really, really helpful for some of those racing mindsets, whether that's in the middle of the, like right before you go to bed, or maybe if you wake up in the middle of the night. This can be really beneficial if you have some empty roller bottles that you can make a DIY roller, add a little bit of vetiver, a little bit of orange. If you need some recipes or even some empty roller bottles, you can message us and we'll give you some really specific recipes, like straight essential oil or put it on the feet. So Dee's asking this question. So if you're using the wild orange, I would put this straight on the big toe, and then put your lavender or serenity or whatever calming floral oil that you have. Maybe it's magnolia or something like that. You can add that to the whole bottom of the foot. Those oils are pretty gentle. We're not worried about being in the sun, right? Our citrus oils, we're not worried about bleaching our skin in the middle of the night with us sleeping. Just throw some socks on or something like that afterwards. Really, most of the time, I don't even worry about socks. Like, I'm putting it on and I'm laying down and I'm going to bed. I've got my diffuser going, all of that stuff. So I'm not really concerned with skin sensitivity or anything like that, especially if you're an adult. Now, if we're talking about a kid under the age of 3, that, you know, we might want to do some dilution with that or something like that. But we're really literally just put your hand on the top of the bottle, kind of invert a little bit, and you're just putting a little dab on the top of the toe. It's really not that much at all. And then 1 drop usually for an adult sized foot, 1 drop of Serenity, bottom of 1 foot, 1 drop, and does the other foot, and you're kind of good to go. Most of the time for little people, probably 5 and under, 1 drop will probably do the bottom of both of those feet, whereas just a little bit of that orange oil will probably do both of the big toes. So it just kind of depends on how big your feet are, right? So that's with that. The one other oil I will mention to you guys is the Adaptive. I have this both in the dropper bottle, but also in the Touch Blend, which is the roller bottle. So if you haven't seen that, it's a stainless steel little roller right here. It kind of just rolls across the skin. So this just makes it easy application. The touch lines means that it has pre-diluted coconut oil, so it makes it just easy application on there. But Adaptive can also be really helpful if you, like Nicole says, if you're trying to solve the world's problems and you kind of wake up in the middle of the night, having an Adaptive roller bottle can be really helpful and soothing to the emotions and just helping your brain just kind of calm down. Adaptive is an adaptogenic blend of oils. It's got multiple oils in it, but it helps our bodies adapt to stress and, you know, just all the stuff that's going on. So that might be something you want to use before you go to bed. Maybe that's something you want to use in the middle of the night. I don't tend to suffer from insomnia, but I know I have a lot of, you know, just friends and people in our, you know, circles that tend to not have a problem with falling asleep, but just, you know, waking up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and then not being able to go back to bed. And I kind of, you know, identified that with some insomnia. So having some roller bottles ahead of time, maybe a little spray bottle of water so that they have something to apply easily in the middle of the night, kind of get up, go to the bathroom, maybe get a little drink of water, and then have this, again, a nice little routine that tells your body, we're going back to bed, we're not trying to solve the world's problems right now, maybe some positive affirmations, and getting a nice routine in that, just to encourage that nice deep sleep that's going on there. For those of you who don't know, melatonin is I know it's a supplement. Probably everybody knows about the supplements they sell in the store, but it's actually a natural occurring hormone, chemical that's in our body that tells our body it's time to go to bed. It's something that starts to happen around 8 or 9 o'clock at night. If you're in a good routine, that's what, you know, for children, that's usually what happens. And then around the age 6 or 7 is when our body starts producing that around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, because typically we all wake up around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. For those of us who have good sleep habits, we don't notice it because the melatonin kicks in and has us go back to bed. For those of us who maybe wake up, like my husband, who wakes up between 3:30 and 4 o'clock every morning because he goes to work, he doesn't get that second dose of melatonin. He's up and he's awake, right? So for those of us who maybe are in that habit of waking up and not being able to go back to sleep, we need to add some things in that are really encouraging our bodies to go back to sleep. And then just depending on really good healthy sleep cycles for nighttime is somewhere between 3 and 4 hours. So you want to make sure that if you are waking up between 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, you want to give yourself that 3 or 4 hours before you've got an alarm set, if possible. I know that's hard with maybe some people who have to go to work, but you want to give yourself that full sleep cycle to sleep through before you're setting an alarm to waking yourself back up. So there's just a lot of stuff to getting good sleep, healthy sleep, nice deep REM sleep, some deep sleep in there, some light sleep. We need just a good percentage of all of the different types of sleeps in there. Each of those different sleep cycles and different layers of sleep are giving us different things: short-term memory, long-term memory, our body immune system. For children, it's growing. We need really good deep sleep for our children to grow. For us adults, it's repairing muscle damage, which can be from working out or over-exercising, or, you know, just different things like that. So there's a lot to sleep. I know that this video is not going to encompass everything. So if you have more questions or you need more specific recipes, or maybe I didn't address your specific issue, please put that in the comments below. Or if you want to send us a private message, again, if you maybe don't want to necessarily share what you're dealing with, Nicole and I, whichever one of us invited you to the group, whoever's helping you, would really be happy to maybe make you a custom roller bottle or give you some different ideas specifically for some oils that are going to help you out for what you're dealing with and what your situation is and different things like that. So it's 8:45 now, so let's all go make our diffusers, do our nighttime routines. I really encourage you to do just some positive thoughts in there. I think Nicole is really fantastic for reminding. It's a really good reminder for me, and just going like, you're right, I need to do those really good thought processes when I'm incorporating really good habits in my essential oils for my emotional and mental health, and get some really good sleep. And I really look forward tomorrow. I'm going to be talking to you guys about baby stuff, which actually helps adults as well. And we're going to talk about some vitality and some energy supplements and different things like that. And I look forward to continuing our journey here with our workshop this week. And again, remember, all of your questions and all of your comments get you into the drawing for this for every day. We've got drawings every day, and I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Have a really good night.